Welcome to Flutter Teacher. In this video, I will talk about operators in the Dart. I will try to cover all the operators as possible as for me in this video. So without wasting time, let's get started. First of all, we'll start from the basics of operator. An operator is actually a symbol that tells the computer to perform certain arithmetic or logical manipulation. Operator is actually a part of expression and it is used to operate over the data or the variables. Based on number of operands that operator requires, there are three categories of operators: unary, binary, and ternary. Unary indicates the operator requires only one operand. Binary means the operator requires two operands, and ternary operators are the operator that requires total three operands to perform the operations. In this case, I have x is equals to y plus z. Then these x, y, and z, these are known as operands. Basically, operand is the value or variable on which operator performs operation. Here, equals to and plus, these are the operators, and the sequence of operators and operands is actually called the expression. In this video, I'm going to explain all these operators in the Dart, so you can jump to specific topic using the timestamp given in the video. The arithmetic operators are the operator that performs the basic arithmetic operations. These are actually the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. In case of Dart, when you go for division, it always results in the double value. But if you want to get the division with integer value, then you have to use integer division, which is actually done using the tilde sign and with the division operator. And as usual, modulus operator gives you the remainder after division. Let's look at this example. In this case, I have variable a, b, and c, and simply I'm performing all the arithmetic operations on this variable. So if I say a plus b, it gives me 14, that is 10 plus 4. A minus b, that is 6, which is a 10 minus 4. A into b, that is 10 into 4, which is the 40. Then a upon b, it results in to 2.5. As I told you, in that by default, this division operator always results in the double value. Now, if you don't want the division with double result, you want it the integer result, simply go with integer division by using this tilde and the division symbol. That's what I'm getting to here as the 10 by 4. And simply the modulus operator gives you remainder after division. So here I'm writing a mod c, that is 10 mod 3, and it is obviously 1. Relational operators are used to compare two values or two Boolean expression. And when we use relational operator, it always results in the Boolean value either true or the false. That supports these many Boolean operator, that is less than. So if and all these relational operators are the binary operator. So if left side value is less than right side value, it returns true, otherwise the false. Less than equals to will return true if left side value is less than or equals to the right side value. Greater than will return true if the left side value is greater than the right side. Greater than equals to returns the true if and if only the value on left hand side is greater than or equals to the value on right hand side. Equals to operator is used to check whether both the left hand side value and right hand side value are equal or not. If it is equal, it gives true, otherwise it returns the false. The inequality operator is opposite to that of equality operator. It means if the left side value and right side value, if they are not equal, then you will get the true, otherwise you will get the false. Let's look at this example. Here I have written 10 greater than 5, which is obviously true, that's why I'm getting true here. Then I'm checking if 10 is greater than 10, this is false for me. And when I'm writing 10 greater than is equals to 10, then it gives true because I'm using is equals to along with this greater than. When I say 10 less than 5, which is of course a false condition, then when I say 10 less than 50, then it says true to me. And when I'm saying 10 is equals to 5, obviously 10 is not equals to 5, that's the reason I'm getting false on the output. When I say 10 is equals to 10, of course 10 and the 10 left and right hand sides are equal, that's the reason I'm getting true here. And when I'm saying 10 not equals to 5, definitely this condition is true, so I'm getting true on the output. And finally, when I'm writing 10 is not equals to 10, obviously this condition is false and that results false on the output. Logical operators are actually used to join two or more conditions together. We actually use them to make the complex condition. Let's say we have more than one conditions and we want to join them together. In this case, we use these operators. In case of Dart, we have total three logical operators, which are known as the logical AND, then the logical OR, and last one is called the logical NOT. Let's look at the truth table of logical operator. Make sure that logical operator always results in the Boolean value, that is either it gives you true or false based on the condition. Try to understand this truth table. Here I have the values of A and values of B. You can see when both A and B are true, then only I'm getting true here. Otherwise, I'm getting a false. So you can say the logical AND results in true only when both left side and right side value are true. Otherwise, I will get a false. In case of logical OR, you can see if any of the left hand or right hand value is true, then I'm getting a true. I will get false only and only when both the left and right side value are false. The logical NOT operator is used to convert value from false to true and true to false. That's the reason you can say when I'm writing NOT of A, you can see it's giving me false and false here for the true, and for the false values, it is converting value of A to true. Just look at this example. In this case, I have two conditions, 10 greater than 5 and the 20 less than 50. So in this case, I'm joining a condition using AND. Basically, we joins the condition using AND in the situation where you want that both the left and right side condition should be true for you. But in case if you are happy with any of the condition, that is you feel that either right or left is done for you, then you can go for the OR. So you will understand all these things where to use and OR based on some practices. So in this case, the 10 greater than 5, this condition is true, and 20 less than 5, again this condition is true. As both these conditions are true, this logical AND results in the true, and it will save the value true in the A. That's why when I'm printing the value of A, I'm getting true on the console. Here I have written 10 greater than 50 and the 5 less than 10. So 10 greater than 50, this condition is false, but the 5 less than 10, this condition is true. That's the reason as I'm using logical OR here and this condition on right hand side is true. That's why the B will result with true and I'm getting true here on the console for the B. When I'm using a C here, you can see I have condition 100 greater than 200. Of course it's false, and 50 less than 55. This one is also false. As both of this condition on left hand side and right hand side are false, that's the reason this logical AND results in the false and C will hold the value called false here. Variable x is assigned a value true. That's the reason I'm getting true for the x. And when I'm storing the value of x in the y, I'm simply using the NOT of x. So NOT of x will convert this true to false. That's the reason finally y will receive the value false. And I'm getting the value of y as a false on the console. Assignment operators are actually used to assign a value on right side to the variable on left side. That supports two different kinds of assignment operator. This equals to is actually called assignment operator, or you can call this as the basic assignment operator. Then that also supports some shorthand assignment operator. Shorthand assignment operator are actually the combination of some operators along with the assignment operator, such as plus is equals to, minus is equals to, then divide is equals to, and mod is equals to. So there are so many shorthand assignment operator. I have simply written the most famous one that we use regularly in Dart and Flutter. Now in this example, I have x is equals to 10. So here I'm using the assignment operator is equals to assign this value on right hand side, that is 10, on the variable x on the left hand side. So it will simply save the value 10 in the variable x. Again, I'm using y is equals to 20. So it will save the value 20 in the variable y. So in this case, I'm simply using the normal assignment operator. For y, I'm using y plus is equals to 5. So this plus is equals to is actually the shorthand assignment operator. So y plus is equals to 5 is actually results in y is equals to y plus 5. That is, it will assign the value of y, that is 20 plus 5. So 25 will be assigned to y finally. So that's the reason on my console I'm getting value of x is 10 and the value of y is 25. The operator plus plus is known as increment operator and it is used to increase value of variable by 1. The operator minus minus is known as decrement operator, which is used to decrease value of variable by 1. That supports two different variations of increment and decrement operator. When we use this plus plus before the variable, it is known as a pre-increment. Then if we use this plus plus after the variable, it's called the post increment. Similarly, when we use this minus minus before the variable, it is known as pre-decrement operator. On the other hand, when we use this minus minus after the variable, it is called as the post decrement operator. In order to understand the effect of this one, we need to understand the example program. Let's look at this example. In this case, I have variable x assigned with the value 10. For y, I am assigning the value of x plus plus. So here x plus plus indicates the post increment operator. Whenever we use the post increment operator, the value of variable is first returned, and after returning, the value will be increased by 1. It means in this case, y will get the value of x, that is the 10, and after assigning the value of x will be increased by 1. So if I run the program, you can see the value of x is of course 11, but the y is having the value 10. However, if I change it to plus plus x, it means now I'm using a pre-increment operator. In case of pre-increment, the value of x is increased first, that is from 10 it will be increased to 11, and whatever increased value is there, now that will be returned in the y. That's the reason if I rerun the program, you can see the value of x is 11 and y is also the 11. Same thing happens in case of the decrement operator. Let's say if I use minus minus of x. So this minus minus x is actually called the pre-decrement operator. It means the value of x is first decreased, that is from 10 it becomes 9, and this 9 will be assigned to y. That's the reason when I'm running this program, you can see the value of x is of course 9 and y is also getting the value 9. However, if I change this minus minus x to x minus minus, so in this case I'm using the post decrement operator. So in this case, the value of x is first assigned to y, that is the value of x is first returned, and after returning the original value, then the value of x will be decreased. That's the reason the value of x, that is 10, will be stored to y, and after storing the value to y, x will be decreased and the x will result in 9, but you can see y is still having the value 10. As the name suggests, the bitwise operator are the operator that works on each bit of the value. It means, let's say we have some variable, say x, having the value 10. Bitwise operator never works on the value of variable, that is, it won't works on the 10. Instead, it will work on the binary equivalent of 10, that is the binary equivalent of 10 value. That's the reason they are called as the bitwise operator. So that supports variety of bitwise operator. This includes bitwise AND, bitwise OR, bitwise exclusive OR, bitwise ones complement, bitwise left shift, and bitwise right shift. Let's understand the truth table of the first three operators. Make sure that as I'm talking about the bit, there are only two bits in the computer, 0 and 1. That's the reason it will the bitwise operator only works with zeros and 1. Now you can see when I'm saying A bitwise and B, so it will result in 1 only and only when both these bits on left hand and right hand side are 1. Otherwise it will return the 0. In case of bitwise OR, I will get the 1 if any one of the left and right hand side is 1. When both the left and right hand side are 0, you can see I'm getting a 0 here. Now in case of exclusive OR, when both the values are equal, that is, you can see in case of the A and B, both are 1, that's the reason I'm getting 0 here. And here also, when the value of A and B both are 0, that is both are same, I'm getting the 0 here. But if I have value left and right side is different, that is if I have 1 and 0, then exclusive OR returns me the 1, or if I have 0 and 1, the exclusive OR also returns the 1. Let's look at this example. Here I have variable A assigned with the value 10 and B assigned with the value 12. Inside C, I want to store A bitwise and B. So make sure that whenever we use the bitwise operator, we must know how to convert decimal values to binary. That is, we should know the actual representation of decimal in the binary. So for this 10, it will be represented in binary as 1010, and the 12 is represented by 1100. Based on truth table, if I try to apply the bitwise AND here, I will get 0 and 0 is 0, again 1 and 0 is 0, then 0 and 0, it will result in 0, and 1 and 1, it will result with 1. So this finally is a value called 8. That's the reason when I'm printing the value of C, you can see I will get 8 on the console. Now if I change this bitwise AND to bitwise OR, let me change it here and here also. Now let me try to apply the bitwise OR rule. Right now we have seen bitwise OR rule. So as per bitwise OR, when I go with this 1 and 1 or 1, it gives me 1. Then 0 or 1, it results in 1. Then 1 or 0 results in 1, and 0 or 0 results in 0. So this value is actually a 14. So if I run this program, you can see I will get output 14 on the screen. And finally, let me change it to the bitwise exclusive OR, and here also I have changed it to bitwise exclusive OR. Now let me apply the bitwise exclusive OR rule here. So 1 exclusive OR 1 is 0 because both the same. Then 0 exclusive OR 1 gives me the 1 here, and 1 exclusive OR 0 results in 1. 0 exclusive OR 0 results in 0 because both these bits are 0. And now this value is actually 6. That's the reason when I rerun the program, you can see on my console I'm getting the value of C as a 6. 1's complement actually negates all the bits in the value. That is, it will convert all zeros into 1 and all ones into zeros. In case of left shift, the bit pattern of value will be shifted towards left side so that the remaining places will be filled with 0. On other hand, when I use a right shift operator, the bit pattern of value will be shifted towards right side. So let's understand this one with some example. We have made the variable a with value 5. So 5 is represented in binary format like this 1 0 1. So I have added extra zeros here, and it doesn't matter if I write extra zeros here. When we write a left shift 2, it means I want to shift the bit pattern of a towards left side by 2 position. So when I shift this 1 0 1 pattern towards left side by 2 position, it becomes 1 0 1, and I will get 2 additional 0 here. So if this is the value 5 and this value is actually 20, that's the reason B will hold the value 20, and when I run this program, you can see over console I'm getting the value of B as 20. Let me modify this program just to understand the right shift operator. So I'm simply making a value of A as 20. So if I'm making this as a 20, so it will be presented like this: 1 0 1 0 0, and I'm simply writing here B is equals to, I'm writing A right shift 2. So A right shift 2 indicates I want to shift the bit pattern of A towards right side by 2 position. It means this bit pattern 1 0 1 0 and 00, it will be shifted to right side by 2 position. That's the reason I will get finally this output. And this bit pattern is actually 5. That's the reason when I rerun the program, you can see I will get 5 in the value of B. Conditional operator is actually a combination of two symbols, the question mark and the colon. This operator is actually a decision making operator, and as it requires total 3 operands, that's why it is also called as a ternary operator. Let's understand the syntax of this condition operator. Here we need to write condition, then the question mark, then expression 1, that is you can say the value 1, then the colon, and the expression 2, you can say it's a value 2. How it works? First of all, your condition is checked. When condition is true, then expression 1 will be evaluated and it will be written as a result inside this variable. But when condition is false, instead of expression 1, expression 2 will be evaluated and it will be written as a result in this variable. So make sure that either expression 1 or expression 2 will be stored in the variable based on conditions. Simply you can say when condition is true, you will get expression 1, otherwise you will get the expression true. Then this is also called as a shorthand notation for using the if else. Let's examine this example. In this case, I'm simply writing 10 greater than 5. Of course, this condition is true, and here I have 100 as expression 1 and this 200 is my expression 2. Now in this case, as this condition is true, that's the reason this 100 will be stored inside this x. So when I run the program, you can see the value of x results in 100. Now instead, if I change my condition, now I have returned 10 greater than 50. And obviously this condition is false. That's the reason instead of getting expression 1, I will get expression 2 in the x. That's why I will get 200 in the x. And when I rerun the program, you can see the value of x is now 200. Type test operators are used to check the type of variable or an object, and it can also allow you to convert your values into another type. That supports total 3 type test operator. First is called is. Is gives you true if and only if the object or value has a specific type that you are looking for. Is not is opposite to that of is. It gives you true if and only if the object or the value is not of the type that you are looking for. And the operator as allows you to typecast, that is to convert your value from one type to another type as per your requirement. Just look at this example. In this case, I have created a variable x with value 10, and using the operator is, I just want to ensure whether this x is integer or not. For this, I need to write x is int. So is a binary kind of operator. So it gives me true if and only if this x is of type integer. So when I run the program, you can see on my screen, I'm getting the true for x is int because this x is holding the value of type integer. When I'm using is not for checking x is not of type integer, and as x is integer, that's why I'm getting a false here. Again, I'm checking whether this x is of type string, and obviously it's not a string. That's the reason I'm getting false here. Now you can see I have written double y is equals to x as a double. So if I remove this as double, you can see my program will give error. The simple reason is the value of x is 10. That's the reason this x is of kind integer variable, and I cannot convert the integer type of value into double. So if I show you the issues here, you can see the value of type int cannot be assigned to the variable of type double. So I'm getting a trouble here. Now if I want to convert the value of x into double type only for calculation, then simply I can use x as a double. It means when I'm storing the value of x in the y, simply I'm converting the value of x into double type, and the resultant double value will be assigned to y. And when I run the program, you can see y will have the value 10 here. That supports the cascade and spread operator. This 2 dot is known as the cascade operator, whereas these 3 dots are known as the spread operator. In order to understand this, we should go for the practical. Let's focus on the cascade operator. In this case, I have created a class called test. This test class has got 2 different methods, the greet and the message. Inside the main, I'm creating the object of test class, say obj here, and over this obj object, I want to call these 2 different methods, greet and message. That provides an efficient way of calling a method. Let's say if I'm calling the greet and then I want to call the message. So instead of writing these 2 statements separately, that says we can use this cascade operator, that is these 2 dots. Just understand how I'm writing this one. So simply you have to write in this way, the 2 dot, then call your method called greet here. Then again write the 2 dots and call the method that is message here. And at the end, just specify the semicolon and we are good to go. So when I run this, we can see the greet method will be called first and then the message method will be called here. This cascade operator is mostly recommended when we don't want to get a return value. That is when we want to perform only operations over the object without getting the return value. So in this case, it is mostly recommended. Let's look at the spread operator. If you guys have watched my videos regarding list and set, so you might have understood the spread operator in detail. So basically, the spread operator is a combination of 3 dots. It is mostly used to obtain the values of list or set and to get it into the another list or set object. Let's understand this example. Here I have the list 1 with 3 values 10, 20 and 30. So inside this list 2, I want the values 15, 25 and 30 value, and remaining values I want to obtain from the list 1. So simply I can write these 3 dots. These 3 dots are actually called a spread operator. So what it will do, it will extract all the values of list 1 and all these values will be attached or it will be added in the list 2. That's the reason when I run the program, we can see for list 1 I'm getting 10, 20 and 30, and for list 2 I'm getting 15, 25, 35. These are the value that I specified while creating a list 2, and this 10, 20 and 30 they are coming from the list 1 through this spread operator. That supports 5 different null-aware operators. Null-aware operators allows you to control your operation, that is to perform the operation or not based on whether there is a value null or not. These are actually known as the shorthand notation for the long expression. Why I'm saying that one, you will understand when I go for an example. So let's try to understand each of these null-aware operator in detail. Now let's focus on the default operator, which is actually the combination of two question mark. But before I talk about default operator, let me explain why I'm saying null-aware operator are the shorthand notation for the long expression. In this case, I have variable x and variable y. So what I want to do, I simply want to store the value of x in y, but I want to ensure that if the value of x is null, then it should not be stored to y. Instead, the 0 should be stored here. So as you can see, the value of x is null. So I need to write this statement like this. If x is equals to null, then I need to write the y is equals to 0. And I need to put else here, and I should write y is equals to x, and then finally I can print the value of y here. Let's say y colon dollar y. Now when I run this program, you can see the value of y results in 0. The reason here is x is null, but if x is having some value, let's say the value of x is 5 here, and when I run this program, you can see in this case the value of y will be the value of x, that is 5 here. But you can see in order to work with this null value, I need to write the long code here. So that's what I'm saying, the long expression here. When I use this null-aware operator, definitely instead of writing this long expression here, I can simply convert it to a small code. Just understand this one. Now what is my requirement? My requirement is I just want to assign the value of x in the y. So if x is null, then in this case the value of y should be 0. So I can simply write here y is equals to x, then the question mark 0, and simply print the value of y here. So I can write y colon the dollar y. Now let's understand how this works here. In this case, when I'm writing x, then the default operator 0, it means the value of x will be assigned to y only and only when x is not null. In this case, x is not null, x is having the value 5. That's the reason when I print this, that's the reason when I run this program, you can see the value of x is 5 here. But when I make my variable x is null, now in this case the value of x is null. So instead of getting the value x that is null, it will return me the default value that is 0 in the y. So when I rerun the program, you can see I will get the value of y as 0. So it's not compulsory to make the value default value as a 0 everywhere. You can go with whatever value you feel better for your choice. Let's look at the fallback assignment operator. It's actually a combination of two question mark along with is equals to. Fallback assignment operator is used to assign value in the variable only and only when the variable is null. So if variable is null, then only value will be assigned inside the variable. Otherwise, no value will be assigned inside the variable. Let's understand this example. In this case, I have variable x with the value 5, and I'm trying to assign value 10 inside the x using this fallback assignment operator. As this x is not a null, that's the reason this 10 won't be assigned to null, and when I run this program, you can see on screen I'm getting x is equals to 5. But if I make my x as a null, I'm simply erasing the value. Now in this case, x is having the value null. So due to this, these fallback assignment operator now assigns value 10 inside the x, and when I rerun the program, you can see the value of x is 10 here. Operator question mark dot, which is known as the safe navigation operator. It is also known as the null aware member access operator. This operator is mostly used to access the properties and methods of an object. So if in case your object is null, then instead of generating error during runtime, it will simply return null for you. Try to understand this example. In this case, you can see I have a name with value Sam and I want simply the name.length. So the length value will be assigned inside this alien, and when I run this program, you can see the value of alien, that is the length, will be 3 here. But if I'm removing the value, so in this case, now the value of name is null, that is it don't have any value. And when I run this program, you can see over the console, I will get the runtime exception. In this scenario, this operator plays a great role. So instead of using this dot, I need to simply use the question mark dot. It means the length property over the name will be called only and only when the value of name is not null. So instead of generating a runtime exception, it will simply return null inside this alien. So that's the reason when I rerun this program, you can find I'm getting simply null inside this variable. Let's try to understand what is this null-shorting cascade operator. So in this case, I have a class test with two methods, greet and the message. And inside the main, I have created the object of test here. And over this object, I want to call two different methods, greet and message. So as we have understood right now, I can simply call this greet and message by using these cascade operator. So if I run this program, happily I will get output with the greet, welcome to Flutter teacher. Then from message it is showing me, please subscribe to my channel, and the last statement I'm getting, see you in the next video. But what if my variable or object is null? So in this case, my object is null, and when I rerun the program, you can see I will get the runtime exception. Now, instead of using this cascade operator, if I use this null-shorting cascade operator, that is the combination of question mark and two dot here, like this. When I'm using this null-shorting cascade operator, that is this question mark and two dot over the object, it means the methods will be called only and only when on the object if it is not null. If it is null, then simply your call will be ignored. So if I rerun the program, you can see this call for greet and message will simply ignored, and I'm getting the output from print statement, that is see you in the next video. And if my object has some value, that is if it is properly assigned with the data, then if I rerun the program, you can see it will call the greet, then the message on the object, and now it is calling the last print here. Right now we have seen the operator called spread operator, combination of three dots here. Let's try to understand how this null await spread operator works. So in this case, I have list 1 with the value 10, 20, 30, and using the values of list 1, I want to construct the values of list 2. For this, I use the spread operator here, and when I run this program, you can see for list 1, I have the three values, that is 10, 20, 30. Obviously, I have forgotten to print this one. So on list 2, I will have the values 40, 50. These are the values I specified, and remaining values I'm getting from the list 1. So of course this program is fine here, but what if my list 1 is a null? So it might happen that my list 1 is null. So if I rerun the program, in this case I will give it an exception. The reason here is I'm calling this operator over the null list, so it's not allowed. In this situation, the null await spread operator has the great role. So instead of calling this three dot, I can call the null await spread operator. Now what's the effect of this one? When I'm using this null await spread operator, it will get the values of list 1, that is it will access the values of list 1 only and only when list 1 is not empty. So if it is empty, simply the call for getting the values of list 1 is ignored, and you will get the values 40 and 50. When I'm rerunning the program, you can see I'm getting the values 40 and 50 in the list 1. Now if my list 1 has some value, let's see, let me change some values. So I'm having the value 11 and 55, and when I'm rerunning the program, as my list 1 is not null, so it will get the values from list 1. There are some other operators, or you can say special operators in the Dart. We have seen these operators so many times while we are performing the program. Right now in the same video itself, the dot is called member access operator, which is used to access the properties and methods of an object. Simply we can use name.length, or let's say string.to uppercase and string.to lowercase. We have used this operator so many times. Whenever we make a function call, we have to use this function calling operator in the form of opening and closing parentheses. When we use the list, in order to specify the index for list, we have used the subscript access operator in the form of two square brackets. So that's it for this video. See you guys in the next video. If you really like the way I'm explaining the concept, then don't forget to like my videos, share my videos, subscribe my channel, and hit the bell notification button to get my latest videos.